Attention messy TikTokers. Please follow on Rumble for more messy TikTok news. YouTube will remove this page for community guideline violations after one more strike. The link is in the description.
And somebody had said something about were they living together or something, I believe. And I said, I don't know, but I saw her laying on that, that old green hotel couch. And then she went outside and was talking about mental health or something. And then she started crying. And then they said she was dealing with depression. And I said, well, I don't know if she just spend the night over there a lot or if she lived there. I don't know. Then they was asking me, was they dating? Somebody just asked me that in here. Hell, I don't know. And you have to ask them that if they dating. Now, hell, I don't know.
Here's the thing. Whether they are or are not,
y'all go back.
Whether they are or are not, I don't fucking care. This is what I want people to understand. I don't care if he's slinging his thing all over. I don't care. My issue is if you can take your time to do all of that and travel these places and party it up, you can come get your kids.
And I said that too. And I did mention her on that. And they was talking about, oh, well, it's 4 hours away for him to go get the kids. And I said, I don't want to hear that. I said, my brother is in the Navy, stationed overseas. He came to my mom's house, got his car, drove 8 hours to Pennsylvania to pick up his daughter, drove 8 hours back to my mom's house so that we could spend time with my niece. And then a week later, drove my niece back home 8 hours, came back to my mom's house 8 hours to leave his car before he went back overseas. So I don't want to hear nothing about no 4 hours. When he didn't have no car, he went and got a train ride, went and picked up some cemetery flowers and took them to Ed for her birthday, did he not? He made exceptions then. When he wanted to do something, he made a way. So I don't want to hear nothing about no 4 hours. I don't got no gas money and I don't got this, that, and the third. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
But I do you one better, Patty. I do you one better. For Christmas break, when he got them for Christmas break, I met him halfway. This past weekend,
I'm pretty sure you would have met him halfway for spring.
This past weekend, I offered to drive halfway and all the way. Well, the weekend of last weekend. No, the 23rd. No, hold on. Because I'm getting my dates mixed up. No, he came and seen them on the 23rd, dropped them back off on the 24th. This weekend that just passed, for Easter weekend, yeah, I offered to drop them off and pick them up if it was going to make it easier for you. Because the last thing he said to me was, oh, I don't have money for the tolls, the gas, Airbnb, getting them food, doing stuff with them. So I said, that's fine. I will bring them to you. If it means that you're going to get time with them, I will bring them to you. Because I'm driving
Why
now.
he didn't get online and ask his supporters? He crowdfunded for everything. Guess why he didn't get online and say, hey, y'all, I need some money to go get my trip. You think them people wouldn't have opened up their wallets and sent cash apps for gas for him to go get his children? But you didn't. You can, what 100?
Can y'all hear me? I don't know if picking up.
We can hear you.
Hey, Patty, I love your voice. Okay, so I just want to say this, y'all. I don't see how anybody can go like days on top of days without talking to their kids, calling, check on their kids. There isn't one time. Tosh, you remember we went to Philly to see you? There wasn't one day y'all didn't hear me. I miss my babies. I'ma call, check on my babies. I wonder what I hope he got them. I hope he put them to bed on time. I'm calling, checking on my kids. Like, y'all be having to tell me to chill. How do you go days without, like, I just personally don't see how anybody can do that. 4 hours, we could be planets apart. Ain't nothing keeping me away from my motherfucking kids, point blank, period. Nothing is keeping me away from my kids, period. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Period.
Nothing. Cailen will tell you, when we were in Atlanta, every time Cailen turned around, I'm talking to my kids.
Yep.
So it bothered me to wake up, talk to them, and then when I went to go talk to them again, I had no idea where they were. And to see this man walk through the door in Atlanta confused the shit out of me. My whole demeanor changed. Like I said, Cailen was in the hotel with me. Me and Cailen shared a hotel room. Cailen, where was I at the night before?
She was in that bed crying herself to sleep. She literally cried herself to sleep. She didn't eat. She didn't do anything. She cried herself to sleep that night because she didn't know where her kids were. And he was not responding to none of her messages.
Because he was on a plane. He was on a plane. So when he came in and he hugged me, I elbowed him and said, "Where's my kids?" Every single time it was time for me to be in the spotlight, he took away from that. That live that he did with you, that live that day, Petty, January 7th, when he announced the divorce, because I had let him know. And I'll tell you exactly what I did. Like I said, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I always stand up in what I said. I told him you messaged me. And I told him it was weird that you messaged me because y'all just had a falling out. And although that may not have been your intent, Petty, for me, it looked weird because I'm like, y'all just had a falling out. So I'm like, why is she messaging me and she's saying she want to work with me or help me, but y'all just had a falling out? I'm confused. I don't want to be a part of mess and drama. And like I said, even though...
And I get that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Even though that was not your intent, that's how it felt to me. That was the impact they had on me. So I told him about it. And he said he was going to say something about you messaging me. I said, that's fine. Nowhere in me agreeing was it agreed upon that my divorce was finna be public.
Because nobody said anything about that.
When I was in the middle of my makeup
because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know nothing about that. I had never talked to him about that. That has never, ever been a conversation about you and him having marital problems, or y'all been talking to attorneys, or y'all was going to get a divorce. We've never had that conversation. So for him to sit up there and perpetrate that I knew something and that I was going to tell, so he's going to tell first, he full of shit. I guess he done ran his mouth and pillow talk to so many different women. He don't know who he told what.
And that is how blindsided I was.
But that was not my intention, Tasha. I want to tell you that from my mouth. That was not my intention. But just like me, a lot of people started off with, getting to know him before they got to know you. So at some point you feel some kind of way like, well, I want to help his wife, but will I be overstepping my boundaries because I started talking to him first. We were going live together and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people were the same way. Like they felt some kind of loyalty or allegiance to him because they started talking to him first and they didn't want to overstep their boundaries. You can ask some of the petty pushers. I've been wanting to step up and to help you with your business. But because I didn't talk to you, we didn't have that kind of relationship, I never said anything. So when he stepped out and did what he did, it was like, okay, well, to hell with it then. I don't have to not say anything now. And to those wondering, I offered to be a silent partner. My name would not have been on nothing. She wouldn't have had to tell nobody nothing. Nobody. I was just going to be a silent partner and give her the money that she needed to continue with her lash and makeup business. That's all. I was not trying to take over her business. I was not trying to have no say-so in nothing. None of that.
And like I said, what I'm trying, like, when I said something to him, like I said, I'm looking at it as y'all literally just had a falling out with the friends thing and the T page and all of that. So it's like, imagine you and Cailen having fallen out, and then I turn around and message Cailen. It looked at it, the way it came off. Like I said, your intent may have wanted to be something else, but the impact it had on me because of how close y'all had to falling out. And I've been in a predicament where people have used me to get towards him multiple times. So now I'm weary because I'm like, damn, y'all just had a whole fiasco on TikTok, and now she's messaging me. So I don't know if people understand from the outside looking in what it looked like. I was looking like, well, damn, I don't know if she really want to help me or if it has something to do with them. I don't know. Exactly, Natasha. The timing of it was off.
That's understandable, and I get it. Yeah, I can see that, and I respect that. That's why I never messaged you again or tried to get on your nerves or, beat a dead horse, because I understand. And no, that was not my intention, because I'm not that kind of girl. What I offered was genuine and from the heart. And again, it was with no strings attached. I didn't want to be, nobody wasn't going to know unless you told me. So, but I mean, I get it.
I apologize to you, because instead of me going to him, because at the time this is still who I depend on a lot. Instead of me going to him, and to you and talking to you about how I felt weird about it, yeah, I went and talked to him. So I apologize for that, because I should have just had the conversation with you about what I was feeling. However, at the time, I was just like, I felt like I was just kind of like in limbo of like, what's the best thing to do? So in that sense, I do apologize in that aspect. I should have came and spoke directly to you to be like, hey, this is weird to me, yada, yada, yada. Oh, what am I?
And I accept your apology, even though there's no apology needed.
I'm apologizing to Petty for not coming directly and talking to her. I'm a grown-ass woman. It shouldn't have been a third party. I should have just had the conversation with her. That's what I'm apologizing for. So, yeah, I mean, I've been, and Cailen knows this. I've been attacked on all aspects. From every time he gets into it with somebody, it is I and my children that get attacked. Granny Coy Bundy, the P person, the B person. A long time ago, there was a guy named Nathan Hoffman that attacked me. I've been attacked on social media since he started. It has always been me and my children that were attacked.
And I apologize. I had no idea. I didn't know that. So I'm sorry. I guess because that wasn't my intention. I didn't think other people would do something like that. So I apologize to you, because I didn't know it was going to make you feel like that. I didn't know those other things had happened to you. So I apologize if me offering to help you on the back end caused him to do something, even though he grown and he is responsible for his own actions. I apologize, but I knew nothing about what he claimed that I knew about. I promise that to you. Me and him had never had a conversation about none of that. So where he got that from and trying to blame that on, that had nothing to do with me. Again, I think he has pillow talked with so many women that he can't remember who he told what. And he thought it was me, but it wasn't.
I'm glad we can have this conversation. I know it's like way overdue, but I'm glad that we can have this conversation as mature adult women without the screaming and the hollering and the shouting. Because one thing for sure, I don't want to see people fail. I don't want to see people fail. I don't want to see my friends fail. I don't want to see people. The table is big enough for all of us to be able to eat. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, it's just, all of this has been really annoying and heavy weighing on me because I'm constantly trying to move forward, but I'm constantly being dragged back in. And like I said, when this live is over, there will be no more lives about him. This is my life. This has been, I've been venting for the past 2 days and telling my story about shit that people don't even know what's going on. Like nobody knew I found condoms in my goddamn car. An empty box of condoms in my car. Nobody knew that this man tried to accuse me of having fucking herpes.
Oh damn!
Because he found my medicine from June 12th of 2020 when I had Bell palsy. And my friend Shell was on the phone. I came in the house and this man jumped on me, attacking me about this medication. You got something you want to tell me? You got something you want? I said, I don't got nothing I want to tell you. What are you talking about? Why you got herpes medicine? First of all, you do know that there is more than one use for medicine. There is more than one use for medicine. The medicine was called Vaclavir, and it is an anti-inflammatory medicine. If you don't know what Bell palsy is, it is an inflammation of the nerve in your face. This is when my TikTok journey started. I talked about my Bell palsy and the fact that I was walking around looking like I had a stroke. But instead, you randomly decide to Google what this medicine was. How that make sense? Mind you, you are my sponsor. You have access to all my records. You have access to all my medical records because whenever I go to the doctors for the military, I have to give them, no, when I say he jumped on me, I don't mean he physically. Let me clear that up. He has never physically put hands on me. Let me clear that up. When I say he jumped on me, I am not talking physically. When I say he jumped on me, I mean, as soon as I walked through the door, he was, what's this? Why you got this? Who's it? And da-da-da-da, like verbally jumped on me. I didn't even have time to put the groceries down. Thank you. Yeah, let me clear that up. Anthony, I speak 1906 Highland, has never physically put hands on me. Let me clear that up because I don't want nobody leaving out of here trying to say I said that. Anthony, I speak 1906 Highland, has never physically put hands on me. We're going to clear that up right now. Clear that up right now. You are correct. Verbal is no better than physical, but I don't want somebody to be sitting over here talking about he physically did something. Because first of all, I did one domestic and I won't do it again. And I'll be damned, a motherfucker be pushing up daisies. But yeah, he pretty much yelled at me. He pretty much yelled at me about the medication. And I went, and the crazy thing is, he was actually live when I showed him the paperwork. Like, that's the crazy thing. He was actually live, and when I went to show him all my paperwork, and I don't think that's how triggered I was. I was like, oh no, let me go pull up my records and show that I don't have anything. That's how triggered I was. And he looked at me and he was like, I'm on loud. Shh. So you didn't want people to know that you just got finished yelling at me, trying to say that I got something.
But he the one slanging that shaboinka all across the United States. But you know what? Let me just mind my business. Yeah. Let me just mind my business. Anybody that is crying because of something I said, girl, go to hell. I'm just, girl, go to hell. Put your liquor down. Go to hell. I'm tired of people crying like somebody done did something to them, and ain't nobody did nothing. Girl, go to hell.
What's crazy to me is you tried to accuse me of having something, but then I turn around and find empty condoms in my car. A whole empty box of condoms in my car. I'm confused. It's the projection.
Y'all can't even hear me.
And he can't say that's a lie. No, we couldn't. He can't even say that's a lie. He can't say that's a lie because I was on the phone and my friend heard the whole conversation. My friend Shell heard the whole conversation. And see, that's the thing he don't never understand. A lot of times when he has demeaned me and said things to me, people have been on the phone.
I want to say something, and this kind of piggybacks off what you was just saying, Petty. This is how I feel, and y'all can let me know if I'm right or wrong, different or indifferent. I always believe he say, she say? No. But there are certain people I will believe it from. There are certain things that Tasha told me that's not a lie. There was actually, Crystal said I could mention it, so I will. There was a conversation I had with Crystal. This was actually, this was probably last year. This is why, and I want to clarify this and clear this up because I don't want y'all thinking I'm out here taking people's issues and just bringing them up willy-nilly. Now, if I'm ever wrong, like I said, I don't have a problem with being wrong. But there was a conversation that me and Crystal had because Crystal had a conversation with Eb. Her phone died, so she can't be here. But I asked her if I could talk about this. It was a conversation she had with Eb that really made me go like this with Eb. Because it was kind of like Tasha said, Eb clearly chose Anthony, which if that was her decision, that was her decision and that was her choice. Where that bothers me is that when you see that somebody is exhibiting piss poor behavior, it's like, you could check them privately, but sometimes publicly is best, especially because we're all on a public platform. We're all on social media. And I feel like if we can call out what everybody else is doing, we could call out what our friends are doing. So while for Eb, if somebody's screen recording this or she's watching this, if I offended you because I brought up your past attempt, you are well within your right to be offended. What bothered me is that you are still buddy with a man who went live and said that his ex-wife's attempt was fake when they were still married, and you are still cool with him. And I don't know if he's manipulating you too. I don't know if he's lying to you too. But even if there are things he's lying about that you don't have access to Tasha to know, even if there's that, do you not think that it's just bad that he went and did that and his behavior has not changed? He is still doing offensive and insulting things to Tasha. That's my problem. So I can understand if what I say and me bringing up what you went through is tacky, is out of bounds. I get that. But what's really out of bounds is that one of your close friends has been disrupting the peace of my friend by doing some very, not only contradicting, but very harsh things. And he has aided to the failure of her mental health. So that's what my thing is. She could have checked him privately. Like, I don't know that. She could have checked him privately. But at what point do we stop being friends with people who are just shitty people? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not entitled. She doesn't owe me anything. She doesn't owe anybody anything. But I feel like at a certain point, why would you still want to be friends with somebody like that? Who is not, I don't know if he's apologized publicly. If he did, he came right back and did the same thing over and over again. So if she did check him privately, that's great. But it's like, I don't like that she and other people still feel it's not even just her. It's not even just at her. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just targeting her. Like, people around him that know what happened, even people that aren't his friends, even people that just support him. I have that same energy for them too. Why? But that's just me though. Nobody owes me anything. Nobody, I'm not saying that she owes me an explanation. I'm not saying what she should or should not do. That's why I don't like her. And that's why I said what I said. Like, if she feels differently, if she doesn't have an issue with me, then that's fine. If she doesn't like me because of things I've said, then that's fine. I respect that. But I'm a step for my friend. And so that's why I brought up what I brought up. And that's why I said what I said. Because in the conversation that Crystal said she had with her, it was more so not that she said anything outright, but that it kind of things that she said and things that she picked up was that she was believing things that Anthony was saying. She called, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that she's upset with me. I just said what I said. So if what I said offended her, it's cool, because what I wasn't expecting her to respond nicely. I wasn't expecting her to respond at all, but that's just how I feel. I mean, I would, if she wants to answer, did you check Anthony? What makes you still want to be friends with him? I'm not entitled to that, but I do want to know. I'm very curious, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. It's almost 2,000 people in here. If I am wrong, tell me that I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with me just because I'm Cailen. Tell me that I'm wrong if I'm wrong. That's it. So someone,
You know how you feel about your friend, because at the end of the day, other people feel that same way about their friend. That's who you know, that's who you have grown to love, and you see stuff that we don't see. She talks to you about stuff that she don't talk to us about. So we know that you know inside stuff, or when she's been crying at night, or when she can't sleep, or she ain't ate in 2 days. Like, you know that stuff, we don't. So you have a different perspective. So if that's how you feel about your friend, and you don't like people that have disrespected your friend, that's your business. You not wrong for that. You have a valid reason.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of how I was feeling, and like what I was thinking, because it's kind of like, I know I'm not tripping. And if Eb wants to come over, and if she wants to talk, if Tasha don't want to be here for that, she don't have to, but I don't mind having her up here and talking to her if that's what she wants to do, if she wants to talk. But that's just kind of how I feel. It's like, for me, I feel like if somebody had that energy for me, if Tasha was on the bull hickey and Tasha was saying and doing things that I didn't care for, not only would I check her, if it had to be private, public, whatever, if she kept up with the bull hickey, I would cut her off. Like, if people constantly do things that I don't like, even if they're not doing it to me, if you are doing bull hickey to somebody else, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to cut you off. So that's just kind of like how I feel. If she called me out my name, it wouldn't be the first time somebody called me out my name. You know, if I'm a bitch, I'm going to be the baddest one. If I'm a bitch, if they're going to call me a bitch, I'm going to be the baddest one. That's just that. I'm not gonna make jabs at her. I'm not going to do that. I'm just kind of saying, like, blankly how I feel. So I'm not gonna make jabs. If other people want to make jabs at her, that's y'all business. I'm not gonna make jabs at her. I don't know. I know she drinks her twisted teas. I ain't gonna say she's an alcoholic. Whatever she do, that's her business. Sometimes people need a little drink. But somebody said that. I don't know if that's what she's saying. I know some people trying to be messy, but if she wants to come and talk, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with that. I'm not against that.
Well, I said what I said, and I stand on what I said, because my experience with her is different than your experience with her. So I get where you coming from, but baby, it is what it is for me. Okay. I said it. It is what it is. Yeah. So, but I'm about to drop down, because I'm about to get on the road, and y'all know I'll be on the back roads. So my service gonna be going in and out. I'm not gonna interrupt the live, so I'm gonna drop down. If y'all still on later, then I'll come back.
Okay. All right. Bye, Petty. Sorry, y'all. I'm checking my messages because I'm having y'all tell me stuff. Bye. Can they not? Okay. I don't know who's. Okay, I don't know. I don't know who's talking about kids. Y'all don't talk about people's kids. I know it's a lot of people in here. My thing is, I will talk about things and I will be blunt, and I'm going to kind of say how I feel, but I'm not going to take low blows at people. I don't talk about people's kids, and I'm not going to make jabs, especially if I don't find it necessary. Only person I was taking jabs at was Anthony. That was it. I'm not taking jabs at nobody else. The only time, like I said, if I'm going to bring up somebody else, I'm going to just bring up general things, and that's it. But I'm not going to talk about her kids. That's not my. Oh, so yeah, we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna talk about people that have nothing to do with this. That's that. I don't know what all is happening in the comment. Go ahead, friend.
My thing is, what I don't think people understand is that there's a point where no, you don't have to. I feel like when you start to bring up people issues, like whether I don't know if she is, I'm not gonna say she is. That ain't none of my business. But when you start to bring up people, kids, you start bringing up their other background stuff. I feel like at that point, you lost. You lost. We're talking about the person's actions. We're not talking about nothing outside of their actions and condoning or not condoning their actions or holding them accountable or not holding them accountable. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about anything else. But see, the issue is then people turn around and they want you to discredit or talk really bad about a person or bring up the person's background or bring up their kids because of the fact that they feel some type of way. Kids have nothing to do with the situation that's at hand. This is a grown person, an adult who should rightfully know right from wrong and should be held accountable when they do certain things. But people don't know how to separate the two. People don't know how to separate the two. You know how many times, instead of holding me accountable for my actions, y'all want to bring up my kids? My kids ain't got nothing to do with my actions. That's crazy to me. This is a grown person, an adult who should rightfully know right from wrong and should be held accountable when they do certain things. But people don't know how to separate the two. People don't know how to separate the two. You know how many times, instead of holding me accountable for my actions, y'all want to bring up my kids? My kids ain't got nothing to do with my actions. That's crazy to me. You lost at that point.
I agree. I feel like bringing kids into stuff like this, or kids and people that have nothing to do with the situation into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we should be able to have a conversation about this. And I know is, like Tasha said, after this, that's it. That's all. My concern is yes, like we're all adults and it feels like people keep slipping under the radar. And I don't know, like my thing is, from my perspective, I can only tell y'all how I feel from what I see. And it's just that I feel like there are a lot of people that just aren't holding their friends accountable. And it's kind of like, I feel like people around me, I want us to be the best version of ourselves that we can. You know what I'm saying? I want you to, if I'm wrong, you let me know. If you wrong, I'm gonna let you know, publicly, privately. And if you're treating people poorly, why would I want to have anything to do with you? Not only is that just not good, and that's just not a good trait of a person, and I don't even want to be around you, even if you never wronged me. On the back end, if y'all see how down Tasha was for him, Tasha was down for him, 3 kids down, marriage down, and he did her wrong. If anybody thinks they're exempt, they're not. You being a friend, a best friend, you're not exempt from that at all whatsoever. So
this guy had did a video where he was talking about, he was like, if you can do your girl wrong, the woman you sleep with every night, the woman that holds you down, what you gonna do to me?
Exactly.
What you gonna do?
Exactly. So it's kind of like, my thing with that is like, for me, it's like if I see somebody moving funny, it's like not only am I already going to kind of be like, okay, I don't like how you treat other people, because I'm that kind of person. I don't need to think about it being me for me to be like, I'm not cool with you. You being hurtful and harmful to other people is enough for me to not really be all that interested with you. So it's kind of like, my thing is, I know it's not anybody's responsibility around him to parent him or to try to tell him to do better. But I feel like as a friend, if you are a real friend, you will want better. And I think, like Tasha said, she was close friends with some people around him, and they picked him despite seeing all the stuff that he did. That's how I feel.
So you asked me again, was there any red flags? In my honest opinion, no. In my honest opinion, no. And what I want people to understand is this is not a person I just up and married. This is a person that I've known for over 10 years. This is a person who I consider my best friend. Previous. So when you hear people say, oh, they married their best friend. No, I married my best friend. That was who I ran to tell all my problems to and everything of the such. That was literally my best friend. And now I not only lost my husband, but I lost my best friend as well. So no, for me, there was not red flags, and it wasn't tunnel vision. Understand, it wasn't tunnel vision, because some people feel like, oh, when you're in love or you love somebody, that you get tunnel vision. Yes, that is true. However, we're not talking about somebody I was in love with in love previous to that. So yeah. But yeah, I definitely think social media changed him. The validation he gets from it.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to I'm still going to be up here for talking, but I'm going to refrain from talking about because
the babies are there.
So yes. So we're going to refrain from saying anything because I don't. They're baby. Okay. Mr. Ace wants to come up and say some things from a man's perspective.
Can he be able to come up?
He can come up, but he can't put his camera.
Okay, hold on. Friend, I still had the gifts for the kids. At least, I see now. At least I'm gonna check because I wanted to send them to you. Okay, I just sent him a request, excuse me. Okay. I hope it connects some. Okay, there we go. Can you hear Sin?
Hello. Yes,
Hello?
I can hear. Can y'all hear me?
I know I can hear you well. I think can everybody hear?
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they can hear you.
So my opinion, and it's just my opinion. You know, yes, I know Tasha. I've known Tasha for a nice amount of time. As a man, first, there are things. Okay, so back in 2008, I thought I had a child. There was nothing that you can do. I don't want to be a weakened father in my child's life, especially a young Black man. So I had to make a decision, and it was to better me and my child's situation. Me and mom wasn't together, so I'm going to do what I need to do every time. If I have to pay phone bills, if I have to help her pay her rent, which these are all things that I've done for it not to be my child. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I wasn't a weekend daddy, but I had my child every chance I had. I don't care. I live far away from my child. But when I had the time, I was there. So as a man growing up without a father, I know what I did not like in my life. And I would never put my children through me not being there physically, mentally, emotionally. There are things that children need in life that they can't get from just one parent. So when I seen that he went live and was doing this 24-hour thing, and I'm just like, wow, like, and I've heard Tasha say this. She said, yo, like, I'll meet you halfway. The one time she was like, listen, I'll even come all the way there. And you can't make up time. But for you to get clothes, for you to listen, children grow every day. Anybody that has children or that has children in their life, no. Those clothes only last for about 2-3 weeks. After you wash them, they get worn out. Sneakers, shoes, anything that your child is involved with, school, all of that. I've seen lists, and literally some of these teachers that add up some of the stuff. This one young lady, she had a list for her daughter, and the teacher said approximately $100 to $150. And that's just for one child. Pencils, papers, books. So for you to sit there and first and foremost, you can work on anything, but you decide not to work on having a better relationship with your children, careful about them. You down her. You loved her. You cared about her at one time. But your children, if you want your children to grow up with the bare minimum, I don't. I don't know no man. There is no man in my circle right now that don't do for their kids. I can't respect the man that don't do for their kids. So any and everybody that's talking that, oh well, she sounds bitter. She has every reason to be bitter. Nobody know how she grew up. Nobody knows how he grew up. So it's unacceptable. Either way, it's unacceptable. So for you to sit there and try, like, I sat there and watched some of that freaking 24-hour live bull crap. For you to tell people on your live, oh, that young lady makeup, her makeup really looks nice. I've never heard you say that about your own wife when y'all was married. Come on. Meet me somewhere in the middle. She ain't asking you for much. She asking you to do what you need to do for your kids. It ain't like she's not doing whatever she's done. She hasn't done it out of spite, because I'm a man and I'm a stand firm on whatever I say. I guarantee you, there is nothing that nobody can tell me that I know that she has not done or will not do for them children.
You want to know what's so crazy? Before I do anything, I have conversations with the men in my family. I have conversation with my male friends. I have conversations with multiple people before I even take a step to even do it. Cailen Ebb is
Mizzy, you're absolutely right. She shouldn't have to ask for nothing because everything should already be given. She didn't lay down by herself to make those children at all. It takes two. So it takes two parents to raise a child. You're talking about three different individuals. Come on, like, common sense has to be common in this kind of situation. And I see some of the stuff that these people say, and I think it's outrageous because, for one, if you have a child, if you have your own child, and if you ain't on Section 8, if you're not getting government benefits and you're just doing it wholly and solely from the muscle, congratulations. But even yet and still, it's still hard out here. If you go and you look at it's crazy because on the news they were just saying how Philadelphia is still they minimum wage. The minimum wage rate ain't moved in years. But everybody got their own opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. But
Okay.
I'm listening.
I'm sorry, Sin. I didn't mean to cut you off. So Eb is here. I didn't want to disrupt what you were saying. Eb is here, and like I said earlier, I'm willing to talk to Eb if she wants to come up. I had to turn my things on, my request on. I couldn't find her in the other box. So Eb, you can. Okay, I see. Hold on. Well, Sim, did you say everything? I didn't want to.
Go ahead. Listen, that's a bigger beast. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Okay.
Y'all ladies have a great day.
Okay. Bye, Sin. Tasha, you gonna stay up?
Yeah, she's gonna stay up.
Okay. Well, okay. I got Eb coming up.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. I'm gonna turn my guest off because I don't want nobody else coming up.
Mm-hmm.
drop him down. He might not know how to do it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me disconnect and then I think this is how I turn it off. This is not how I turn it off. I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm gonna mess with something. Okay, so before we talk about anything, I don't know a lot of what was happening in the comments before, but people was telling me y'all was talking about people kids or calling people alcoholics, doing stuff. Please don't do that, because I will turn the comments off. I don't rock with that. So
Definitely more than that too in your comments. It was definitely more.
yeah, I wasn't noticing. I was just looking at the people talking. People let me know. So I said prior, let's not do that. So let's not do that. And if they do, my mods, y'all have all right to block them. Don't try to talk about Eb's situation in defense of Tasha, me, nobody else. The kids don't got nothing to do.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't come up to talk about Aunt Tasha because everybody knows I don't get involved in it, to include the people here. What I did come up to talk about was this is not the first time when y'all go on a hate Aunt train. I don't have nothing to do with that. It's none of my business. Everybody knows that. But every time y'all do this, I start catching heat for it. The last time y'all did it, I was getting death threats and things because of the things that people were saying either on a panel or in your comment section. And the thing that bothers me is I would never allow people to do that to any of y'all, nor with my mods. So I don't understand how every time this happens, I keep getting brought up. That's my only issue. I don't have nothing to do with what y'all say and your opinion on anybody, and everybody knows that, to include y'all. But the fact my kids get brought up, my mental health gets brought up, all these other things get brought up. And I understand how it is to also have a panel and not see the comment section. But it has been brought, somebody literally sat up here and said something about me in the panel. So like, I don't understand. Why do I keep getting brought up? I don't care. Let me address this comment real quick. Everybody knows he's my friend. So y'all not saying nothing new. So like, I don't care about those comments. My issue is for people I would never allow this shit to occur with. Why does it keep occurring with me? Regardless of how y'all feel about me or I feel about y'all, I would never let that happen, but it continually happens every time y'all do this. So that's my only issue. I would never, nor would my mods, allow somebody to sit here and do that to y'all in my comment section. But then I get people coming over to my shit, talking shit to me, and I don't have nothing to do with them.
Multiple times it has been said, Eb ain't got nothing to do with this. I just got finished saying, Eb ain't got nothing to do with this. I just got finished saying, do not bring up Eb's children. I know what it's like to be on that end. So I do my damnness and my hardest to tell people, don't do that. Her kids have nothing to do with nothing. We literally just said, we're not going to do that whole calling her alcoholic. We're not going to do that whole talking about her mental health. We're not going to do none of that. However, all we can do is tell people don't do that. These are grown people and these are trolls that are going to do the same exact thing.
Y'all let Petty sit here and say it on the panel, though. Outside of the comments, you let Petty sit there and bring something up in the comment section. I mean, in the panel. I would never let that happen. I was talking about I was in my live talking about Petty because Petty brought me up this morning. Petty brought me up.
In her life. And it was sad. And it was sad. It was sad. I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you the whole time you were talking, Ed. I did not interrupt you the whole time you were talking. I sat and I waited until you stopped.
You did though, but
to then say something.
Go ahead.
Petty has nothing to do with Cailen. You were talking about Petty. They came in here and said that nobody's talking about Cailen. They're talking about Petty. Petty cleared up what she said in her live about you. So for her to be able to defend herself about what was already said, she didn't call you an alcoholic.
This is crazy.
She didn't bring your children up.
Did she not say in there for me to take another drink or something and stop crying? She said that?
When did she say
I
that?
literally am only going off.
She did say that, Tasha. She said that when she was on the panel.
Okay, well that's my apology. I did not hear that part.
She said that when she was up here.
That is my apology.
She didn't address Ed by her name, but she did say that.
I'm literally only talking to y'all based off screenshots and screen recordings. The only reason I knew she was talking about me this morning, and I'm not bringing her live up because I understand that live. I know how lives work. That live has nothing to do with this one. But I was brought up on the panel and I was brought up in the comments. I also understand how comments go and not being able to see everything. But I also know if I was going to sit here and do something like this to y'all, this wouldn't happen. And I don't understand why it keeps happening. If you got a problem with him, have it. I don't got nothing to do with that. And everybody knows this. But the fact I continually get brought up, not just in y'all saying, why don't you hold your friend accountable? Okay, that's fine. People are going to have that opinion. That is what it is. Whatever that shit is, people can have it. But my kids being brought up, my mental health being brought up, things like this consistently in the comment section. Last time y'all did this, I had death threats over a situation I have nothing to do with. I woke up to death threats. And no matter the type of relationship any of us have, I would never let this shit happen to y'all. And y'all know this.
Okay.
That's my only issue.
But it has happened.
I don't care about the other
What
stuff.
happened to me?
Not in my
It has
life. It
happened
never
to
happened.
you.
Prove it. Prove it, Tasha. Prove it. Tell me exactly what it was. Prove it. It's never happened in my space. Never. Prove it. Prove it.
I constantly, like, come on, miss me with the bullshit. You can't play fucking victim.
You constantly what, Tasha? You constantly what? You see me
My
bring
name
you
is
up?
constantly coming up all y'all lives. All y'all lives.
Your name
Y'all
is not
can miss me with this shit. Y'all all do the same thing. Y'all all sit and play fucking victim and act like y'all don't do shit.
You're not gonna do is lie on me.
Man,
I
miss
promise
me with
you.
that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
You're not gonna lie on me. You're not gonna lie on me. I promise you. If it comes up in other people's lives, I can't control that. Your name don't come up in my life. Anytime it has, I'll shut that shit the fuck down. Don't play with me, Tasha. If you're upset, be upset. But you don't project that shit on me.
Okay, and I have every right to be the fuck upset, Ed, because it has happened. I've seen it happen.
Okay, like I said, prove it.
I've seen it
Like
fucking happen.
Prove it. Prove
Like,
it.
miss me with
And how
that
do you know what my
bullshit,
lives
man.
look like? You must got proof because I'm
Miss
blocked,
me with
Tasha.
that
So you must got
bullshit.
proof. Show it. Show it, Tasha. All I'm asking you to do is prove it.
But Ed, you're not the only person that gets shit.
Attention messy TikTokers. Please follow on Rumble for more messy TikTok news. YouTube will remove this page for community guideline violations after one more strike. The link is in the description.